Have you ever wondered where your data actually lives? And more importantly, who controls it? Is it the app you're using, the company storing it, or the country where that data physically exists? Because here's the reality. Your data might be traveling across borders right now, without you even realizing it. Welcome to Bluehat's Cybersec Academy. Today, we're diving into a concept that sits at the heart of global data control and digital governance. Data sovereignty, ownership laws over digital data. In today's digital world, data is often called the new oil. But here's a question worth thinking about. Who actually owns your data? Is it you, the company collecting it, or the country where it is stored? As businesses expand globally and data flows freely across borders, the concept of data sovereignty has become more important than ever. It determines how data is governed, where it is stored, and which laws apply to it. In this session, we'll explore what data sovereignty really means, why it matters, how it impacts organizations and individuals, and what the future holds for data ownership in a connected world. So let's start with the basics and understand what data sovereignty really is. Data sovereignty refers to the idea that digital data is subject to the laws and regulations of the country in which it is collected, processed, or stored. In simple terms, your data is governed by the laws of the land where it resides. This means that if your data is stored on servers in a particular country, it must comply with that country's legal framework, regardless of where you live. Now let's pause for a moment and ask, why does this really matter? First, legal control. Governments want authority over data within their borders to enforce laws, conduct investigations, and protect national interests. Second, privacy protection. Different countries have different levels of privacy protection. Data sovereignty ensures that local privacy laws are applied. Third, national security. Sensitive data stored outside a country may be vulnerable to foreign surveillance or misuse. And fourth, business compliance. Organizations must comply with multiple jurisdictions, which can affect how they store and process data. So, to fully understand data sovereignty, it really helps to look at a few closely related ideas. First, there's data localization. This basically means that data must be stored within the country where it's generated. Then, there's data residency, which is just about the physical location where data is stored. Data ownership comes next. It defines who actually has the legal rights over the data, whether that's individuals, organizations, or even governments. And finally, data governance. These are the policies and frameworks that control how data is managed, accessed, and protected. All right, let's make this a bit more practical with a simple example. Imagine a company that's based in one country, but it's storing user data on cloud servers located in another country. Now, there could be several laws in play here. The laws of the user's country, the laws of the company's headquarters, and the laws of the country where the data is actually stored. This creates a pretty complex legal environment, where organizations really have to manage compliance carefully. Around the world, different regions approach data sovereignty in very different ways. In the European Union, there's strong data protection through GDPR, and a big focus on user rights and control. In the United States, regulations are more sector-specific, with a stronger emphasis on innovation and data access. In China, there are strict data localization laws and significant government control over data. And in India, data protection frameworks are still evolving, but there's an increasing focus on localization and sovereignty. While data sovereignty is important, it also comes with, a few challenges. First, there's complex compliance. Organizations operating globally must navigate, multiple legal systems. Second, there's the issue of increased costs. Maintaining local data centers and compliance systems can be, honestly, pretty expensive. Third, we have data fragmentation. Data stored in multiple locations can actually reduce efficiency and accessibility. And fourth, there are cloud computing limitations. Global cloud services may face restrictions due to local laws. Despite these challenges, there are, some clear advantages. There's stronger data protection, better regulatory control, increased trust among users, and, of course, enhanced national security. Now let's look at how this affects businesses. Organizations need to, adapt their strategies to comply with data sovereignty laws. This includes things like choosing data storage locations carefully, implementing region-specific compliance policies, working with cloud providers that support localization, and conducting regular audits and risk assessments. Failure to comply can lead to legal penalties, reputational damage, and even loss of customer trust. From an individual's perspective, data sovereignty brings both benefits and awareness. It offers greater control over personal data, better protection under local laws, and increased awareness of where your data is actually stored. However, it can also limit access to certain global services in some situations. Looking ahead, data sovereignty will play an even bigger role in shaping the digital world. As technology evolves, so does the importance of controlling data across borders. We may see stronger international data agreements, growth of localized cloud infrastructure, increased regulation of cross-border data flows, and a greater emphasis on user rights and transparency. Organizations will need to carefully balance global operations with local compliance. So, as we wrap this up, let me bring it back to you. Now that you understand how data moves across borders and how laws define control, who do you think should truly own your data? Data sovereignty is not just a technical or legal concept. It is a fundamental part of digital governance in today's world. It defines who controls data, how it is used, and which laws apply to it. In an era where data drives economies and innovation, understanding data sovereignty is essential for businesses, governments, and individuals alike. Your data may travel across the world in seconds, but its control is still rooted in laws, borders, and governance. And understanding that is the first step toward truly understanding digital power. Now, before you go, test your understanding. What determines which country's laws apply to your data? What is the difference between data localization and data residency? Why can data sovereignty increase costs for organizations? Can data sovereignty impact your access to global digital services? How? Take a moment, think about it, or share your answers in the comments. And if this session helped you understand how your data is controlled across borders, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Bluehat Cybersec Academy and explore our cyber law, governance, and compliance playlist for more insights that help you stay informed, stay aware, and take control of your digital world. I'll see you in the next session.